All right, you guys, welcome to another weekly Team Prosperity Team Training. We've got a lot of people on meetings and other things going on today, which is awesome. The team's having a lot of production lately, and we want to make sure that you guys, if you're coming in as a brand new agent, newly licensed, or you're coming in and maybe trying to get traction in the industry. Maybe you haven't been able to get traction. This is a beginner's education training for that. If you guys like this, we can expand on it next week. We like to start each week with a review of last week. Last couple of weeks, we had a come and go open meeting that was not recorded, and we were traveling last week. So the past trainings that were done are always in the Agency in Motion channel. And once again, that's for you guys and your agents so that you guys can concentrate on income producing activities and not so much on having to train each individual agent that comes in. You have a backlog of videos you can point them to help them get through the learning curve. So today, really what we're talking about is an intro from getting licensed or coming back into the industry to legacy building a career, a business, and an asset. And that's so important. If you're going to be in this industry, why not build an asset that's going to pay you ownership equity in this very large industry? The big picture, you guys, is mindset. And once you understand that, it's going to help you get past the initial stages, build that traction, get over those initial obstacles, and really get you into a rhythm of activity that's going to produce results. So, welcome to today's training. Today's session is for everyone who's ready to build something real, not just a side hustle, not just short term income streams, not just a career or business, but ultimately an asset. And when you understand the asset building opportunity in a multi-trillion dollar industry, it should be very, very exciting to you. So whether you're brand new or you're still trying to get that initial traction, today we're going to introduce like a roadmap of exactly how to do that step by step over the next 18 months. Our model that we built over the past number of years is powerful because it's flexible. It allows you guys to go with whatever the client or the prospect at that time thinks is most important to them. You can start with one piece. It's like a buffet. You can take stuff now, add stuff later. It doesn't really matter to us. We have the Money Max account. We have a student loan forgiveness program. We have our biz to biz equity opportunity, and you can layer those and over time create multiple streams of income and impact to the client. This is not about selling somebody a product. This is about changing financial landscapes and trajectories. And each time you do that in the financial plan, each one of those building blocks you're able to help somebody with is another point of monetization for you. So we're not just selling people products or creating income as a parasitic relationship. We're actually creating desired financial end outcomes that your clients are extremely excited about with legitimate paths to get there. So before we talk strategy, let's talk mindset because you have to have the mindset to make sure that you're going to be able to get through these cycles to build this business. So the mindset is the foundation. You cannot build anything without a foundation. And the mindset in this industry is extremely important because this industry is not about selling products. It's about solving problems. So if you're out there solving legitimate problems, which there's a lot of financial problems in our country, you get financially rewarded for that. If you're out there trying to, push products, you're going to find that it's a long, hard, kind of lonely road where nobody really wants to talk to you. So it's about helping people win the money game. And once you digest that mission, it becomes a lot easier to look at what you do on a daily basis because instead of a commission or a sale, hey, if I don't help this person, what's going to happen to them? So the information that we have, the education, the guides, the master classes, the webinars, it's all designed to put you into a position where you are not an insurance agent. You're a financial coach, you're a business builder. You got two sides. You got your client, your partner side of the business. The moment you shift from I'm trying to make a sale to I'm helping a family achieve freedom, your confidence grows and your results follow. You got to think long term. Now, I'm not talking about very long term in a cycle like we have of acquisition. We're talking about a 60-month period of time that you need to put your head down, work hard. You're building a business that compounds on top of it. So every client you help, every partner you bring in, every relationship that you nurture, it all adds up and it all compounds on top of each other to the point where you get a moment of what we call hockey stick growth. And once that happens in your business, you still have problems in your business, but guess what? They're growth problems. Those are great problems to have that we can help you solve as well. So adopt the mindset that this isn't a sprint, it's a marathon, but the reward is at the end and it's worth every single step that you take. So this is the 18-month roadmap to success. This is a introduction roadmap. Like I said, if I get feedback and you guys that watch this on the recording, watch this live, say, "Hey, Mike, give me more of this," then we'll go into more detail. This is like an introduction to really what you want to follow to reach your goals in this business. Phase one. Now, this is either a newly licensed person coming in, just getting your license, or this is somebody who maybe hasn't gained any traction, trying to restart, trying to get that initial traction. This is about foundation and learning. This is 0 to 30 to 3 months. This is a 90-day sprint. And when I say sprint, the goal here is to build knowledge, build confidence, and build daily habits. Your habits are going to create your outcomes. Your brain loves to do whatever it is that you set it on the path to do, whether that's positive or negative. It's going to want to repeat itself time and time and time again. So the daily habits is something that's so important in the first little bit of time to create, because it's going to help create consistency. Your first 90 days are about just laying the foundation. Think of it like boot camp, and you're learning the systems, you're building discipline, and you're developing daily consistency. You want to start with the basics, things that can help you create like a yes formula where you're talking to people. Yeah, I want more information about that. Yes, I want to talk to you about that. So we have the Money Max account, how it eliminates the bank's profit. That two-step process to convert debt to wealth, once you learn that yourself and teach other people, it's amazing. And you can help people, get rid of their debt in a fraction of the time, eliminate the bank's profit in step one. And then some of the clients, go over to step two, they combine the steps. Step two, after you eliminate the bank's profit, is you just take the bank's position. That's how we use our insurance products, and we arbitrage to create wealth in step two. Also, if somebody's biggest issue is that student loan, we have a way to possibly get those on a forgiven program. So if let's say somebody's paying $600-700 a month for student loans, and we're able to help get that down to a 0 per month cost basis for them. We just freed up a bunch of cash flow, and now you're not asking them to take new cash flow. We found cash flow from this, and now it's easy to springboard that into something like a tax-free retirement plan. Also, student loan forgiveness is not a licensed product. It's a referral that can create income while you guys have agents that are studying for their exam, or create immediate income to help them get money for things like marketing, things like tools for their business. And then always, always, always think about the asset, think about the acquisition, think about the equity. If you're going to be in the industry, then you want to be part of an acquisition. You want to be part of ownership of the platform that you're helping build, and not just building it for somebody else. And that comes along with an equity payout at the end that can be very large for the people that understand it and take advantage of that. So at this point, really what you want to focus on, and this is the first phase, that 0 to 3 months, is attending all trainings and webinars. If you can't make it live, watch the recordings. And this is not just our stuff. This is other stuff that, that is valuable in getting you past the learning curve. Shadowing, experienced agents learning presentations. 100% of 0 is 0. If you're giving away some of your, splitting sales, I just went on a sale with an agent, 90-10, 90% for them. I want you guys to be successful, but I also want the sale to go through. I want the application to be written correctly. I don't want you guys to have a bunch of problems where you're throwing your hands up. So it's not about, gouging you. It's about helping you. And that you'll see that in what we do and how we structure some of these split sales with you guys. It's mostly going to you, so we'll make sure it's done correctly. Starting conversations. You have to master the art of communication in your warm and common markets. If you can't talk to people that you know, it's going to be extremely hard to talk to people that you don't know. Your warm market is about practice. It's about asking for their opinions, asking for their constructive criticisms. It's just asking for their help, not asking for them to sit down for a product or a sales presentation, but you're asking for their opinion. And that's why, get them backed by what you're doing and helping you. Common markets are a little outside the warm market. This is people that you have a loose affiliation with. You don't know, but they go maybe to the same school that you went to. They attend the same civics societies that you attend, whatever it may be. They go to your gym. I don't know. But common market will bridge that gap to give you at least a little bit of time to introduce what? Introduce yourself and why you do what you do. Remember, why is extremely important. Mission is extremely important. If you come across very mission-based in your warm and common market, you will get some reaction there. If you come across very salesy in either one of those markets, it's not going to happen. You want to share. You want to come with value-based propositions. Those conversations are turning into call to actions. We want them grabbing the educational tools like the guides. We want them watching master classes, I decide presentations to what? To learn more so they can ask questions. Most of those questions are buying questions versus you just trying to force feed somebody something like an insurance policy down their throat. At this stage, don't worry about being perfect. If you wait for activity because you think that you're not perfected or polished enough yet, all that is a veiled way to procrastinate getting started. So just move fast and break stuff. That was Facebook's motto in the very beginning days. At this stage, do that. Focus on activity, consistency, and curiosity. Be curious about your profession, your career, what you do. The more you learn, the more you will end up earning. Milestone at this point, you should be able to confidently explain who we are, what we do, and how we help families and partners win financially. If you can do that at this stage, that's really the milestone, and that would be a check mark. One of the things that I've helped you guys with is developing materials that you can give away. And that puts you in a PowerPoint in the conversation because you're no longer asking for people to do anything, just have a general interest in learning how to get some of this stuff financially achieved. If somebody's willing to learn or have an interest in learning this stuff, that's a very good leading indicator. You have a decent prospect and possibly a good or a great client. So let's look at just some of these real quick. A Mortgage Protection Made Simple guide. These guides were designed to do two things: teach the prospect and educate the prospect, but also teach you guys and the agents. It's written in a format that's almost like a walkthrough. So if you learn these guides and what's in these guides, you will be able to effectively communicate about whatever it is. If you're out there selling term insurance, which is a very easy insurance to understand, it's not about cash value or annuities or any of those things, just a straightforward protection. The best way to sell that is to package that up as mortgage protection. Read the guide, understand it, understand what you're giving away, but also understand it for the point of mastering that art of communication, helping people understand what is mortgage protection, why it's important. There's stories in there, etc. Facts tell, stories sell. So once again, if you get some stories into your vocabulary and communication, you'll be able to effectively give the information in a way that most people want to receive it. We have skeptical questions to ask before buying Index Universal Life or IUL. When somebody says, I've heard a lot of bad stuff about IUL, I say, yeah, I have too. I've read a ton of stuff about it. And you have to be able to explain why. Most of the time, if IUL, it's the company, they have a terrible product, or the agent is either by purpose to get the most commission or by just not understanding how to effectively construct these policies. A lot of what's sold in the industry is not worthwhile. It's going to end up imploding. So these are skeptical questions to ask before buying IUL for you guys to understand what questions your clients or your prospects will be asking you, but also it's helping us sell because we have good policies. We have constructed policies that are made to create things like tax-free retirement. So when you are looking through these, once again, this is what you're giving away. They have value, but these are also lessons and tutorials on how to sell this stuff for you guys. And then convert debt to wealth. This is our two-step strategy that flips the financial script, how we eliminate debt, build wealth without really changing loans, lifestyles, or budgets. We teach people to unlock the power of their existing cash flow. Guys, if you can learn and regurgitate some of this stuff, this is how you create prospects, clients, referrals, user-generated content online that tells people, hey, I met with this person. They did a great job. They gave me this. They did that. Your business will grow on the sheer force of what we're doing on the front side, which is education. If you're recruiting, we have 32 smart strategies for crushing insurance sales. These are some great strategies that insurance agents can implement immediately into their business to help them grow their lead generation. And then also we have, guaranteed retirement. So when you're looking at newly licensed, you don't want to think that you're going to go through all of this and learn it instantly. Start with basic stuff like the mortgage protection. That's a term insurance policy. Start with our convert debt to wealth kind of two-step process, and then get into some more advanced stuff as it comes up. This can also help you guys, if you're newly licensed, understanding where to go, how to get leads, what's important, what's not. Let me give you an example here. Let's go back to mortgage protection for just a minute. I think a lot of people have the misconception that the real estate market is a slow-moving industry. Well, it's not. When you look at the potential here, While sales have slowed compared to, a normal market, we're not really in a normal real estate market right now. 4.15 million homes were sold last year, not including new construction, according to the NAR, the National Association of Realtors. That's an average of 11,000 homes sold every day, or roughly 8 homes sold every minute. We were talking about protecting a new home sold. I think people have the misconception there's only, a few houses sold here and there from time to time. There are a ton of houses being sold. So you need to access that data, get in front of the right people, join up with real estate agents as partners if they understand the value of this, but understand that new home sale is the opportune time to get in front of somebody with mortgage protection. Bought your dream home. Let me show you how to stay inside your dream home if something happens. It's not about the risk, guys. If something, if you talk to people about you may have a heart attack, stroke, cancer, disability, they brush it off. Nobody thinks anything bad's going to happen to them. If you pose the question, hey, if yesterday you had a heart attack, stroke, cancer, disability, what does today look like for your home, for your finances? This is a hedge against consequence of risk. And then, you can sell a ton of term insurance packaged up right now. Remember, not as a product, but as a solution. And then once you solve problems and offer solutions, you sell a lot of products. Phase 2, this is traction and credibility. This is a month 4 through 9. So you had that initial 90-day sprint. Now we're into the secondary phase, months 4 through 9. This is about building activity into consistent results. It's not about hit or miss policy here or there. It's about now I have consistent results, I have consistent cash flow. That's going to build confidence that this industry can be a long-term career, profession, and ownership opportunity for you. This is where most people quit, guys. I got to be honest with you. People starting their own business is extremely hard. Don't think it's something easy. If it's easy, everybody would do it. But what you have to realize is psychologically, people get to the point and they usually quit right before a breakthrough. So what you've got now is you've learned the system. Now it's time to apply it. You start to see traction through consistent conversations and presentations. Grant Cardone says contacts equal contracts. He's exactly right, guys. The more people that you learn to talk to about your business, and once again, you're not talking about selling people insurance policies. You're talking about solving problems that they have, discovering problems they have, and offering value-based propositions on how to get rid of that problem or possibly get to a goal they're trying to get to. In the secondary phase, here's what we want to focus on. Master your appointment flow. That's the discovery, education, whatever reports, illustrations, follow-up that goes along with that. You have to be systematic in what you do so it can be replicatable for your agency that builds out. And then you want to build your online credibility. This is not about posting ads and paying for ads. It's about posting about your journey. What are you learning? What are you helping people learn and achieve? If you give people a timeline of your business build out, they will follow you. They will be interested with you. They will cheer you on. Share the breakthroughs, also share the problems. People want you to be authentic online. And through that brand awareness that you're creating, you will be able to, kind of springboard that into some solid conversations as you move in and out of this phase. Leverage joint appointments. Notice that was part of phase 1 and phase 2. Get on mentorship calls with upline partners, ask questions. If you're struggling with something, we don't know unless you ask. Work both sides of your model, client and partner. You want to straddle both sides of the fence because one fuels the other. You never know where conversations are going to be. And as long as you're flexible and don't have a pre-hidden agenda going into a conversation, you just let the other side talk, ask questions. It's very, very easy to sort people out. Remember, consistency at this point creates credibility. Milestone at this point, you're seeing consistent results, maybe your first few clients, maybe a couple new partners, and a growing confidence that, hey, this is real and this actually works. And then finally, phase 3. So as phase 3 gets into month 10 through 18, you're crossing that year 1, you're getting into year 2. The goal at this point is to build a business that actually scales and lasts. Remember, you don't want everything on your shoulders every single month. That's called being a producer. If you have a bad month, you have a bad income. If you're a builder and you build sales teams and agencies, you get rewarded for leadership. And now it's not all in the backs of you. You have an asset that's building on top of itself. So by now, phase 1, phase 2, you've built the habits and confidence. It's time to multiply your impact. So here's what the final phase 3 of this initial build out looks like. You want to duplicate your success by starting to mentor new agents. At this point, you've probably got a lot of things down. You're past the learning curve. Now you can pay it forward. And what does paying it forward mean? It means investing time, energy, resources into partners, not just that need it, but who are actively working the business. Make sure your time is spent on the people who deserve it. And that way you're getting a return on your time. You're building small teams. I would use the virtual assembly line. That works the best. We've used it for a number of years. That's where people can gravitate towards what they want to specialize in, pass off the other roles they don't know how to do, don't want to do, don't have the time to do. And that way the client is getting the best service as well. But that partner can also grow into roles as their business grows. You have marketers, managers, and consultants all work together, all communicate together for the betterment of each partner and the client. And then you want to start expanding into some advanced solutions like MMA Pro, creating that offset and arbitrage, teaching people how to create assets from a number of things they're already doing, like paying off debt. Introduce some other things that we have. We have estate options, trust options that can help people. If you cover all the building blocks of a financial plan, your clients don't need to go somewhere outside of that to get something. And that way you keep it all in house. And you want to invest in marketing at this point. This point, you've done things organically, you built up your business, you made some money, paid yourself for the investment into the time that you put into the business. But now you're going to start creating a marketing budget. You're going to start to run ads, host webinars, automate some of your outreach. Follow-up should be automated, guys, as much as 80%. You want the manual input, you want the human experience, high tech, high touch kind of experience. But if you're automating a lot of your follow-up, you're knowing that it gets done, and it can help sort them out. That way you concentrate on people who are actually interested in what you're talking about. Your role shifts at this point from producer to builder. The milestone at this point is you built a predictable income, a growing team, and a reputation as a trusted advisor. You're no longer working in your business, you're working on it, building that business as an asset. And then you have continuous benchmarks that you want to reach and teach other people how to reach during these phases. Throughout all three phases, certain things never change. Learning. You have to keep learning. Think about just the things that have come out in the last couple of years with AI and everything that's happening. If you stop learning, what you're going to do is your business is going to start to contract. You're either growing or dying, right? So it's your job to be curious and learning. Always stay a student of the business. With that learning, you implement what you learn. If you learn that combo of learning new things and implementing them, apply what you learn immediately and testing things, what works, what doesn't work, and then take the stuff that works and create duplication. Teach what works to others, and that creates a leadership model. That's what your team is counting on. They're counting on you to help them understand what to do at any given point to be successful in this business. If you are a leader and if you can help people get to where their personal individual goals are, it's a huge ripple effect, kind of high tide lifts all boats. You're reaching your organizational goals from helping a lot of people reach personal goals. Your results will follow your rhythm, your daily focus, your weekly tracking, your monthly reflection. If you're accountable and you reflect on that, it's easy to measure, hey, this is happening, this is not happening. I'm going in the right course or the wrong course. You need to stay plugged in. Don't disconnect at this point because you think you've got it all down. Still attend every meeting. Why? Well, at this point, you may hear some of the same things over and over again, but your people are seeing you. Hey, I saw you and you can see them. Hey, I saw you on the meeting. Great job. You want to make sure that we're in a virtual business. People don't feel like they're on a desert island with nobody communicating with them, checking up on them, or creating expectations for them. You can't grow a business if you're disconnected from the mission and from your team. Building an asset. Remember, if you're going to be, this is my message for people in the insurance industry, if you're going to be in the insurance industry, why not build ownership along with building your business? You're not just creating income, you're creating equity. And that equity payout can be substantial. How do people get rich? They get rich through taking ownership of a business that grows and flourishes. Our system pays you multiple ways. Front end through technology, coaching, sales, things like that. Back end through insurance and retirement planning. Long term through the biz to biz equity and team overrides. This is truly how you build an asset. Every effort today adds up to something that you can be proud of tomorrow. So in the beginning, celebrate the small victories because they may not be huge victories until you get down the line a little bit. This is how we move from commission checks to legacy income. And the closing messages for today's training, guys, is if you've been struggling to get traction, this is your moment. Draw a line in the sand. You have a proven model, you have a team that actually supports you, wants you to win, and you have multiple pathways to success. The only thing missing, I guarantee you guys, in a lot of your plans is the action and consistency of that action. Decide today that you're not just going to be in this business, you're going to own it. Start where you are, do what you can, build daily discipline. That's going to build self-confidence, and then stay consistent over time. 18 months from now, your life can look dramatically different. You'll look back and realize this was the moment that everything changed. 2026 Michael? Is the year of the fire horse. In Chinese culture, the fire horse is energetic, dynamic nature. It symbolizes vitality, speed, and perseverance. So next year can be a huge year for you. Looks like the zodiac symbols lining up, the fire horse. Really go at this and create something where you're going to be extremely proud of it yourself, but also create legacy for that inner circle you created and whatever charitable causes that you're interested in.